back. I think we're all back. Yeah, we're good. Welcome in. Good to see y'all. All right, we are trying to run some tests here. And we should be good. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're good. What's happening, everybody? Just finishing up. Had to reset my router, unfortunately. That part always sucks. What's happening? Okay, we're all back to live. I think we're all good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, should be all fine here. What's up? Kevin's book in the house. There's the man, the myth, the legend himself. If y'all are not checking out Kevin's book, you are missing out. He wrote an incredible book based on his experience as an investigator for crimes against children, basically the pedos. I'm doing good, Kevin. It's good to see you. We're making some pirate skulls today. Actually, ghostly skulls. I'm going the more paranormal route, maybe. So we're making these guys in marbles today. These are like my famous skullduggery marble. But I'm doing the Aurora Borealis back end on it too, so I really dig that too. Where did I put that marble? Goodness, googly goo. Did I lose it already? How do you lose a marble? Let me find it. I think I lost it. There it is. I'll say, how do you lose a marble, right? So anyway, we're doing the Aurora Borealis version too. So it has these, I wonder if that'll hang there. Like that. It's not really showing. Yeah, it's not going to show. Anyway, we got the Aurora Borealis version going. I'm going to park this up here at the back end of the marbles. So that has the, just like what it sounds like, Aurora Borealis. You can see all that green buzzing around on there. And it's all hidden. Oh, what's up, BDH? How are ya? Good to see you. Sarah, hello. All right, so I do have to finish the pink petals, which is this one here with the opals, and we'll get into skullduggery. I don't know if skullduggery is a copywritten word. I'm gonna have to find that out. All right, so we're gonna try something here. I don't know how this is work. I got these acrylic bases I want to start using, but I want to see if I can get it fitted in there. I want to see if I can melt a rod in there, like make the perfect fitting by melting it. That might actually work. Or maybe not. At least it looks cool, right? Yeah, it's boiling the surface. Looks like I'm going to have to end up drilling these out. All right, that's not going to work. I thought I could just maybe melt it in there and it would go really smooth. Obviously not. See, just boiled it. not a good look. Oh well. I'm just going to toss that in the water. I don't want it hanging around me. Pop that in there. There we go. Get it away. Make it disappear. Brings a tear to your one good eye. There you go. All right. So anyway, yeah, we are jamming on some marbles today. We're making the pink petal right now. This is the bigger version of the opal marble. I'm going to get that started right now. We're going to finish it up, and then we'll start making pirate skull marbles. What's up, Groves? So that has all the little opals buzzing through it. I'm going to grab a rod here, and let's get this thing finished up. Okay, we are completely engaged right there. Now I just have to make it bigger. That's all. That's all that we have to do. Okay. We're going to attach and, yeah. There we go. And here we are. We're just got to make it another 2 inches or so. Not much. Just a little bit. Anyway, how's everybody doing on this happy Friday? Happy Friday to everyone. I'm good, Kevin. Whatever you need, I got you. If you need a custom piece, I will make time for you. I definitely have time within a month, for sure. We could definitely get it done. What were you thinking? All right, so we're adding a lot of mass to this. You got it, my friend. Thank you, Mo. Yeah, we are kind of super casual with it. Got to be comfortable with it. Yeah, definitely have to be comfortable around fire and molten glass. Okay. I had an itch right there. I had to get it off. That's the part I was saying. And itchy, fascinated and terrified. Yeah, that's what, you're not alone in that aspect. It's very common to be a little intimidated by the fire and the flame and the molten glass. That's not unusual. And that's why I always tell people when they want to do this as a career or hobby, to make sure you go in and you spend some time figuring out whether you like being around fire. Yeah, you gotta make sure you're comfortable around that. And that's the most important thing. Are you comfortable around fire? Okay, so we're just pushing this in. Building up a mass here. Getting it all set. A little bit more. So this has to grow a little bit more. We need to get this into the 3-inch size here. And that's what takes a little bit. Every little bit that you add onto this requires a lot more heat. Every 1/2 inch or so. It definitely increases the volume of flame and intensity that happens. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. We're just trying to bring it back up. Sorry, this is taking me a minute. So we're making a 3-inch marble right now, and then we're going to go into the pirate marbles, the ghostly marble, right after this. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in chat. I'll try and answer. Do you ever use silver the way you use gold, like the other night? Yeah, I use silver all the time that way. That's called fuming. Yeah, definitely making marbles. We have lots of marbles to do today. You know, that's one of my more popular items, and that's the way it is. Got to fill the orders. But yeah, we definitely use silver the same way we use gold. Littlefoot, what's happening? All right, so here we go. We're getting it engaged right now. Just checking size-wise. And you notice that I'm kind of rocking the glass back and forth this way. And the reason for that is I'm trying to keep it as even as possible. If I just let it go molten in one direction, I'd have more of a UFO shape, as opposed to trying to keep it semi-round, which is what I want right now. It'd be more of a flat disc-ish look. Okay, I think we're okay right here. We're going to have to do this and then another half. After this, we're going to be using gold, pure gold on here. It is a process called fuming. It's a very, very elegant process to me. Okay, so we're melting all this in right now. Littlefoot, thank you for the jewels. Let's see, who is that? Is it Tam? What's up, Tam? I know, let's go for some silver. We got it. This is where it does get heavy and big and heavy, though. I mean, this is some of the last 3-inch marbles I'm doing. We definitely got it molten, though. So right now, that's running right around 3800 to 4,000 degrees in the flame. The marble itself is probably 3,000 right now. 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, between 2,800 and 3,000 roughly. Oop, caught my watch on that. And it's starting to boogie. Trying to keep it molten after 3,000 degrees is a little bit difficult with one hand. All right, we're boogieing now. I know, don't touch it, right? Yeah, definitely don't want to do that. Oh, man, that's moving. It's moving, moving, moving. There we go. We're scooting. And then we're going to come over to the mold and let it just gravity drip. So this process right here, right what I'm doing right here, I'm just kind of letting the weight of the glass push it down. I'm not forcing it at all. Just let it naturally happen. I gotta be honest, that's really satisfying right there. But I'm so happy I ended up moving the molds, like I said, to the center of the bench. It's a little more difficult for me to reach. But I think the visual for all of you looks a lot better. Yeah, I have special lenses on right now for the filter. So I'm going to show you, I do have a side camera going on right now. So the camera that's up in my top right-hand corner up there, that has a filter on it. Notice the flame's a little bit different looking. I'm going to try and zoom in on it. We're going to change over. I did a little camera trick. Here we go. Come on, change. There we go. So now you can see it a little bit better. It's not quite as bright. This is the side view of what it looks like from the side. And then this is back there. It's looking good. So there's a bunch of tiny little opals in there. All those little dots are tiny little opals, little crushed opal. Allergies are kicking in again, damn it. I hate that. I got to let it cool before we attach another rod to it. Or it'll keep moving. All right, so we're going to attach what's called a punty rod on here, or holding rod. Going to grip it and rip it. By the way, if you are on TikTok right now and you are watching this live stream, you will see a name on there, Grove's Glass Gallery. Definitely hit the like button and the follow button for Grove's Glass Gallery. She is also a lamp worker. This is what this is called. And she is progressing in her career very well. And the reason it's interesting to watch what she does is because she is still in semi-learning process. She's got some experience now. But you get to actually watch someone progress. So you get to watch over time their skills get better and better and better. And I think that's a pretty cool process in of itself, is to watch someone progress, and you get to follow them as they get better. Do I crush the opal? No, I get the opal crushed already. The opal's already come crushed. It's basically an opal frit. They're lab created, so they are made in a lab. I don't know about a lab, but a factory. They're called lab created opals. And I think, in my honest opinion, I think the crushed opals that they sell are opals that didn't quite make the grade, if you will, for first quality. So they take the rejects and crush them, which I don't have a problem with. Maybe the shape was off or it got a chip in it. It's a good way of repurposing it, but I have a funny feeling they don't just take perfectly good opals and crush them. Yeah, leftovers, exactly. All right, so I'm going to show you the better filter here. This is my didymium lens, like that. That's what's in my glasses. Now, mine are a little bit darker, but I'm going to drop this in, and you can definitely see the filtering system that I have going on right now. So that's what's in my glasses currently. So you can definitely see in there, and then bring it back up. So that is the difference. That's how I can see what's going on. Now, I can't hold that out too long because it gets super hot. It was getting hot on the sleeve from the radiating heat of this bad boy. But no, I don't crush the opals myself. I'd be a little nervous about that because this stuff still is super expensive. Crushed opals are not cheap. I think it's like $12 a gram. All right, so what I have to do here is I have to smooth this little bit out right here. And then we're going to have to backfill with more clear glass. But before I can do that, I have to smooth all this out. If I don't do that, I could possibly trap air in there. And while it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, aesthetically, it wouldn't be the best. And I don't want to trap any air. I want to keep it as air-free as possible. Now, it can have little air bubbles, but what would trap there is more of a ring around it. It would be an air-trapped ring. And that would not be pleasant. Okay, I think we're good. So we're going to grab a secondary rod. We're going to add it to it. I hope you guys are picking up some of the torch noise. I did spend a little time to try and fine-tune the sound and bring in some audio environmental sounds. Do I have any glow-in-the-dark material that you've used before? Yeah. So little foot silver, for this particular glass, this is called borosilicate. You may not know this, but I invented the glow-in-the-dark glass. That is my claim to fame on this. The glow-in-the-dark, not the uranium, but an actual glow-in-the-dark process is me. I was the first one to do it. And it is currently being sold by North Star Glassworks, my formulation, which is kind of cool. Damn it, got an itch. There must be someone is it when someone's talking about you, is that why your nose itches? I think that's the process. What happens? Your nose itches or some crap like that? All right, so we're adding another mass on here. Now, this is getting heavy. So this is getting into probably the 7 to 10 pound range right now. So it does get a little bit bigger. Glow-in-the-dark was really, really tricky. Yeah, that was a tough one. Ears ring? Okay. Yeah, glow-in-the-dark was tricky to get right because not a lot of glow-in-the-dark material can withstand the heat that is pushed into this. And then you not only have that to consider, but the distribution of the glow-in-the-dark material was also really, really, really difficult to figure out. So it's not just getting it to glow and getting it to survive, but the actual distribution of the material. And what I mean by that is, can I get it to spread evenly and look good? Because glow-in-the-dark material, when it's heated, it kind of clumps. I mean, it makes clumpy. It's kind of clumpy. So that was the other factor that was really difficult. But I did it back before the internet was really predominant, and I had to do research, read books, and contact companies, and man, that was tough. It took me 2.5 years to get it right. And then when I very first thought I had it right, of course, you know, life lesson, I was like, oh my God, I got the glow in the dark, it works. And I made a bunch of product with it. And I sold it to a friend of mine that sold products. A functional world, I'll just say that. And he bought like $4,000 worth, which back in, 1998 was a lot of money. And he called me up 3 weeks later and he said, hey man, everything's cracked. And sure enough, I had gotten really close on the formula, but not exact. And everything I had made cracked. $4,000 worth. And there's no saving it from that point. You just literally have to throw it away. That was a hard lesson, man. All right, so we're adding a lot of mass on here. This is going to be a 3-inch marble or a little greater. The other one's 3 inches. This one should be a little bit bigger probably. Then we're going to do a process called gold fuming, where we're going to vaporize pure gold on it, create a little petal, and then we're doing pirate skulls or ghostly skulls. And that is going to be the fun stuff. All right, a little bit more. This is where it gets really heavy. My shoulders are starting to feel it. Just gonna, yeah, it definitely needs some more. I thought I'd be good, but need some more. Definitely needs it. And you see me rocking back and forth on the rods. And what I'm trying to do is keep that molten glass balanced. So like if I keep molten like this, it's going to create kind of like a little flat UFO shape. If I kind of rock it back this way, it brings it back down, straightens it back out, and then I come back this way and molten back in that way. Okay, right about there. I think that's going to be good. If not, I can always add a little bit to it. But we still have to add some glass for the petals. It should kind of look like a simulated flower. Put that away. So, one of the rules in glass blowing. Whenever you get done with a piece of glass, hot end away from you. So when you set something down, the hot end goes away from you. There are a lot of people out there that have a habit of like flipping the glass around with their hands like a drumstick. And that could be bad. And here we go. So this year, while I got people on here, I'm going to talk about this. This year, during the summer and spring, I'm going to, for subscribers and members, anybody that's following, subscribing, members, etc., we're going to have a opportunity for people to come in and do this with me on live and have a full experience with me personally. I cannot pay for transportation for you to get here, nor the accommodations can I pay for. Okay, there are rules for that, and there's a reason. So I cannot pay for the accommodations or the travel. However, I am willing to offer you the entire experience for the day, and you get to make all kinds of stuff during the day with me as your personal coach, and you get to take home what you make. You just have to agree to do it on live on YouTube here. So to be like a guest experience, you do not have to pay me, obviously. It's just an experience. So that's what is going to happen this year, for sure. That's one of the things we are definitely implementing. And if you are interested in that, keep your eyes out for the announcements. I'm probably going to do one a month for 3 or 4 months. If it seems to be successful, we might expand it to 2 a month. But basically, you'll be taking me off the torch for a day from being able to produce to be able to do the experience with you on YouTube Live. But you get to have a full experience as a glass blower with me right by your side. Would that be fun? I think it would be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, travel. I cannot pay for the travel. And the reason I cannot pay for the travel is there are some legal reasons for that. Not to mention it would be expensive. What's up, Bruno? How are you? Ooh, man, that got hot. Woo! Man, that got hot. So what's hitting me right now is the radiating heat. Jesus, that's hot. So this glass is super hot. And what's happening is that round portion of the glass is acting like a heat dish. Kind of like those propane heat dishes that you see coming on tanks. That's exactly what's happening. Yeah, the shipping to South Africa might be a little bit much. I'm always careful, Vivian. You be careful. You probably have more danger walking your puppy than I do doing this. All right, here we go. We're going to start shaping this bad boy up. So again, I do not put pressure on this. I just let the molten glass do its job on its own. Okay, I could literally two-finger this thing like I am right now. The weight of the glass should be able to make everything. You don't have a dog? Well, then it's even worse. You probably have more danger just walking down the street then. Trip on a pothole. My world is super safe. In fact, I'm safer than most. Do you know why? Do anybody want to guess why I'm super safe here? The camera I'm using is called the Insta360 Link 2. The Insta360 Link 2. Nope, not because I'm wearing sunglasses. It's not that. I am very safe out here. I'm going to tell you. You guys want the secret? Why I'm so safe? That's right, because it's hot. So if I live in the Pacific Northwest of Washington State, and if Bigfoot ever decides to walk in my studio, I've got a flame. I got this entire flame here. So just in case Bigfoot walks in, I am super protected. Because flame and fur don't go together, right? All right, so we're getting it super round here. I wish Bigfoot would walk out, though. I know, Pacific Northwest, shout out! Yeah, absolutely. I love being here. No, the biggest danger, I'll give you the lowdown on what the absolute danger is for me. Okay? The absolute danger is getting cut, like actual cuts. There are what's called witch's fingernails. So when you cut rods in a certain way, they leave a little fingernail looking thing. It's almost like a blade. And if you're not careful, it can slice your finger. Or you try and be aggressive with the glass and you try and push it too hard. The glass can snap from being heated and cooled. It makes it much weaker. I've cut that knuckle right there down to the bone twice. And I've cut it not down to the bone once. So this knuckle has had 3 exact cuts all the way down. It's got a nasty scar right there. You can kind of see the scarring from it. And one time I actually hit the nerves, I think, and boom. Lives in Arlington. Yeah, the Arlington's a hop, skip, and jump from me, veteran. That's a hop, skip, and jump. Okay, I can't get too close to the camera, but see all the little opals? Those are the little opals. Look at me, I'm upside down. See? All right, we're going to try the side camera so I can show you the opal a little bit. Here we go. This is a new view for me. Okay, we're coming over to the side. There we go. So this is the side view. Might be able to shine a light on this. There we go. Oh my God, it shows up good for me. Oh, there they are. Can you see those little opals shining? Look at that. You can see them even reflecting off the table. Look at them reflecting off the table. There's the little opals in there. Back up. I love that view now. I just have to figure out how to hotkey it. I need a hotkey on that so I can just click it. Or I have a foot pedal from Elgato. I need to do that. That would be better. Use an Elgato foot pedal. Okay, so next step. It's all clear right now with the opals. We need to gold fume it and create a flowery petal in there. So this process that I'm doing right now is called gold fuming. And it has gotten recently super expensive considering the price of gold. And it is pure gold, 0.9999 pure. So yeah, it has gotten super expensive. There's a little nugget of it right on this glass rod. We're going to take it and we're going to superheat that gold in this flame. And that gold is going to be carried by the flame to the marble up here. And we're doing that right now. We're carrying the gold all the way across. I got to do one side at a time. I can't do it both. And right now that gold is vaporizing. And there we are. I got a little bit more in here, just a tiny bit. And there we are. So now this has pure gold on it. See how it looks all shiny? That is literally gold plated. Let me pull in the side camera. I'm digging this side camera. I think that looks amazing. So there is the golden hue. All right, now we need to trap that gold. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to trap it with this little rod here. And the trapping is exactly what it sounds like. We are trapping the gold. So there's a thin layer of it on here. And I'm going to encase it with the glass rods here. We're going to create little dots. So the best explanation I can refer to it with is if I took two pieces of glass and sandwiched aluminum foil in between it. That's kind of the same effect. And right now I'm doing that. Now I have to do this very slowly across here. Because the main thing is that gold was vaporized onto the marble. It can be unvaporized if I hit it with the flame. So I have to be able to encase this without getting the marble all the way into the flame. So I have to be careful. And there we go. So I have a favor to ask. If you are new to, if you're new to my stream, if you could do me a favor and just hit the like button on whether you're TikTok or YouTube, it would really help me a lot. And if you think that the content is worth it and worth a follow on TikTok or a subscription on YouTube, I would appreciate it. You don't have to, but it definitely helps me a tremendous amount. And I hate asking, but it's what matters. The metrics definitely matter. Thank you so much. So we got little dots there. And I always consider it I have to earn the subscription or the follow. I don't expect you to just do it because. I think it has to be earned. And especially on YouTube, as I've dove more and more into YouTube over the years, my subscription channel page fills up really fast. And you realize you can't go through and catch them all. It's not a Pokemon. So I feel like the subscriptions are definitely earned. And I don't take it for granted at all. And hopefully I can earn that from you. All right, here we go. We're coming around. I am going to be streaming just about every day, until I, kick the bucket, or until I can't do this anymore. Yeah, like glazing ceramics, correct. Go do little dots. I don't know what is happening here, but I'm missing a couple little sections here. I'm not getting it super even. I have to kind of it away. Support your local Washingtonians. Very interesting. Thank you. Yeah, I love being in Washington. Like I said, I'm on the hunt for Bigfoot. Yeah. What I would do if I ever met Bigfoot, I don't know. Probably freak out. But it would be a cool experience. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to put one directly in the center here. And there we go. So what's going to happen from here? We got all those dots laid around. Kind of looks like a little scepter, right? Like a king's scepter, king or queen. And we have to heat it up super hot. Then we're going to spin it. Are the bubbles like a shield? What do you mean shield? Yeah, this is solid. This is solid glass. Which, but are you talking about the little dots on there? Oh, the dots. Yes. So they are protecting the gold that I put on there. The dots are protecting the gold fuming that I put on there. The gold is actually going to burn off on here. So the gold is going to remain wherever there's a dot. Wherever there's not a dot, the gold is going to pop off. We're making a giant marble like this one. It has gold fuming in it. You can see those little pinky dot looking things. And there's opals in it. There are crushed opals in there. Kind of looks like a flower pattern. So we're making that right now. You came along at a good point because I finished the heavy lifting, meaning the building the bulk of it, and now we get to do the fun stuff. Let me do it this way. I'm going to see if this other camera... Tell me which view you like from here, okay? Because we're kind of going right here. I'm going to change the view and tell me what you would prefer. See that one? So this has a little bit of a filter on it, but you can see a little bit more, I think, of what's going on. And you don't have to look at my ugly face sitting there. And then we come back this way. Yeah, they start out as glass rods. So I start off with a between 16 and 20 millimeter rod. Yeah, it definitely starts out as glass rods. I have glass rods up to 2 inches in diameter, but I rarely use that. It's super heavy. And it's hard to cut through with the flame. All right, we got to get these dots completely melted in. Got to do it two-handed here. Yeah, the side view is kind of neat. It just gives a different perspective. Could I make a glass cat? I have done some cats, but I'm working on a new design for them. I had a glass cat design that was really cool. I thought it was cool. And it was a cat that kind of looked like it was laying down and the head was tucked into the tail. You know, kind of cute, right? And then I had to do it one time out of brownish orange for like a tabby cat, I think. And when I got done, it ended up looking like a poop emoji. So that item got discontinued because it went from a cat to a poop emoji. Now, if it wasn't in the brown, it looked really good. But in the brown and oranges, it looked very much like a poop emoji. It was strange how just the color changed it. All right, we got to come around this way. I'm trying to get it to droop down a little bit. Definitely make a giraffe, yeah. Yeah, I am working on the giraffe right now. Yeah, the giraffe will be a fun one. I like giraffes. So I've done elephants, giraffes, bullfrogs, sea turtles. The only thing I don't make is a horse. And I don't have anything against horses. I just can't figure out the body structure. So like every time I make something, I kind of have an idea in my head of what it looks like. I can kind of see it. But a horse, I can't see the body structure. Yeah, I've done tons of dragons. If you give me about 3 or 4 minutes here, I will show you a dragon that you've never seen before. You live in California, I go live in the mornings at 9:30 a.m. and then I'm live in the evenings at 5:30, and those are Pacific Standard Time. Sunday, it'll be 5:30 in the evening on Sundays, and then Saturday is just kind of like my free day. I will schedule live streams with announcements, but I don't have a specific Saturday schedule. Okay, I'm going to show you what's happening here. See how we got that kind of flowery petal going? See how we just kind of, it's pulled it down and we have that flower pattern going? We're going to take that and we're going to spiral it up real quick. So just by taking a single rod, gripping it, keeping this stationary, and slowly turning the marble itself, we're going to get a little bit of a pattern to it. So once it's hot, I stop moving this one that I'm tapping and give it a little twist, then back at it all the way around so I can get a nice motion to it. And there we are. We're going to taper this off now. Pull it down. Get it kind of just mellowed out right there, and I'll show you how that pattern twisted up like that. So we redirected the actual petals in there, the flower dots. And we created those organic swirls. No, I don't do any plugs. The plugs are, I thought about it. I have a machine, not a machine, but a gauge for it. But I'm just too scared. I wouldn't make it exactly that way, the right size. So this is my favorite dragon-ish item. This is a dragon dagger, like that. And that is my dog Fritz. So this is a dragon dagger. So it has the dragon head at the end. And there's a little shiny side and a frosty side. We're going to be remaking one of these this year. And I'm going to not do claws on the side. We're going to do full wings. We're going to come across and do full wings off of it. A little uranium and then a dragon spine on this as well. So this is 19 inches in size. I might make it into a 21-inch size. We'll have to see. 21 or 24 inch would be really cool. And then behind me, I don't have it visual right now. Oh, look at that pattern coming out. I don't have it displayed at the moment, but I have a 48 inch, actually 49 inch glass sword. So the blade isn't sharp like that dagger was. It's not as sharp, but it's massive. So it's a 4-foot glass sword. Yep, I have a galaxy glass orb as well. Okay, so we need to melt this in. Let's go. Let's get it. So if you watch on my YouTube video, there is a short of me saying, let's get it. I have no idea why the hell I said that. I mean, it sounds almost stupid, but it's so stupid it's funny. I never say, let's get it. Sorry, I'm getting an allergy attack here. But I had to post it. I don't mind making fun of myself. It's okay. Making fun of myself is cool. Seahorse. Yeah, seahorses are fun. That's the one horse I can do. I can make a seahorse. They're definitely kind of cool. But the thing about a seahorse is it has to be done in a decent size. When you try and do them too small, they're really small. I mean, they're just not very detailed. And so I don't like that. But yeah, seahorses are actually cool. I do have a really cool piece that a lot of people can't believe I did. It is my catchphrase. I have a self-portrait of when I was very young. I made a self-portrait of myself from when I was young. If you would like to see that self-portrait and you haven't seen it before, I have it nearby. You can type 1 in the chat, or you can just type yes, please, or yes, and I will show you the self-portrait. And you'll see some resemblance. I mean, like I said, I was young, so you'll see some resemblance, but you know, off and on. I was a lot skinnier too. So, but the hair is the same. Okay, here we go. So we're just kind of melting this in. Yeah, I will definitely show it to you. We got a lot of ones coming through. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, weren't we all, right? Yeah, I was a lot skinnier, definitely, you know, faster and, you know, a lot more agile. I felt like I had a good sense of direction back then. All right, so let's round this out, and then I'll grab the portrait. Just a second. Thank you for typing in the chat. There we go. We got it rounding out. I'm waiting for that tray to blow up right there from the radiating heat. I'm wondering if it will. So this dish, although I think it is borosilicate. All right, so we got the pattern going on right there. We're looking good. All right, this will give me a break for a second too. Give my arms a rest for just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to taper it down so I don't waste any gas. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. So bear in mind, you know, keep an open mind to it, all right? But this is me when I was really, really young. You can see the hair is pretty identical. But yeah, this is me when I was very young. A nice self-portrait from when I was way back in the day. And like I said, I had a really good sense of direction, a lot skinnier. Yeah, see, hair matches though. You can recognize the hair. There we go. Sorry, that was a little clickbait-ish. But that is my sense of humor. Now, the good news is if you get to follow me or subscribe or follow, you get to be in on the joke when I do that. You can just wait and expect it to happen. All right, we have all this looking good now. So we got half of this marble done. It's really good. Look at that patterning. Did I tell you that would be beautiful in there or what? Yeah, I believe in having a lot of fun. So truth be told on that item, one of the very first items I tried making as a youngster, because I started, both my parents are glassblowers. My mom was the first, and she started when I was 2 years old. So I grew up with it. But one of the things was, I was young and about eight years old, somewhere around there. I was a swimmer. Yeah, pretty much. Littlefoot, thank you for the super chat. But anyway, I tried making snakes, like any kid. You want to make a snake or something cool. And that was my impression of a snake at 8 years old from doing that. And all the adults were laughing their asses off because obviously it looked like that. And I didn't get it. 8 years old, I didn't know what the heck was so funny about my steak. So that's a little side humor about that item. That's exactly what one of my first items to make was. Little snake. All right, we got to make this kind of bring it out. Bonafide. Well, I bet I'd rather be bonafide than homicide. That'd be good. All right, here we go. So I got to get the gold fume on this side now too. And then this marble will round out and it'll all be done. Making a table with resin. Oh, that sounds cool. With planets? That sounds really cool. Okay. So we have to add in the gold on this side. So this is the clear section. Remember how that flower, see how it kind of went transparent? It's going to come back. All right, we have to add in the gold, and then I'm going to encase the gold again. And we'll finish this marble up, and we'll do the pirate-y version. Here we go. So this is, again, pure gold. I use a Canadian maple leaf, the coin, to melt into the gold because I find it to be the purest metal on the planet. I've tried a lot of different coins, and Canadian maple leaves are pure. Here we go. We're starting to vaporize now. So what happens is the gold turns to almost like a vapor, and it becomes so light that the flame carries it all the way to the glass orb up top here. And the process is technically called fuming. Turns to a fume or a gas. And that's what's happening right now. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be doing in the future unless gold comes down in price, or I'm going to have to raise the gold prices up. Because when I bought this coin, it was about $280. Right now, it is like almost $500 for it. So it has definitely increased a lot in price, which in turn cost me a lot of money. There we go. So there is the gold plating. See what I said though? Doesn't that look? It's literally gold plated. It's exactly what it is right now. Here we go. I'll bring it this way so you can see it. So you can definitely see it is plated. Might be able to see little opals bouncing in there. Look at that. You can see those little green and blue opals bouncing. They look good. Okay, 1 second. Oh man, I'm out. I need my iced tea. Getting thirsty. Sweet tea to the rescue. Here we go. All right, so we have to completely put little marbles around that, and that's what makes the pattern. So little tiny dots. Everywhere I put a little dot, it will be encasing that gold. Wherever I don't put a dot, the gold will eventually burn off. It'll just dissipate. Just like I fumed it onto the marble, it will fume off of the marble as I start forming it. But anywhere I'm putting these little dots, it will remain. There we go. We're just going all the way around. We have to do this in rows. So I want to try and keep a specific pattern to it with a little creative indulgence here. And I got to keep shifting this because this thing gets heavy. Okay, so we got dots running all the way around. I do like showing stages so that y'all can see it as the process unfolds. I think processes or processes are super important to show. So we got dots all the way around there. Not only is it, I think it's cool to, do this in a large. Jewelry isn't pure gold. No, jewelry isn't pure gold, but my gold is. Well, as pure as you can be. There's no such thing as pure gold. But 0.9999 pure is pretty damn pure. Now, I'd like to get my hands on what's called placer gold, gold from gold panning. And the reason I want that is it has definitely some different impurities in it, but it turns more cranberry, like a reddish cranberry color. And that is a cool color. But trying to find placer gold isn't easy. Maybe I should just go gold panning myself. So we're just bringing it all the way around. Okay, so we got more dots all the way. You want to see the side view? Sure. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I definitely need to hotkey this side view. There. So we'll do a set of row on the side. There we are. So the side does have a little didymium filter on it. It's not a super strong one, but it works. It dissipates the flame just a little bit here. And you can see my oven or kiln off to the left. It's one of a couple different ovens I have, or kilns. But this is my working kiln. So this is the one that I use on a daily basis to go in and out of. It's not too big and not too small. All right, we're going to go back to main view. There we go. Nana Beth's in the house. I know I need to talk to Parker on Gold Rush, right? No kidding. All right, last little bit. I think I can get away with just a big old... let's try this a little different here. Put 3 little dots here this time. There. There we go. So now we got dots all the way around. Okay. Like I said, it reminds me of like a royal scepter of something, or something out of a video game. That would be cool. It does kind of look like it has that video game vibe. All right, so we're going to come through here and we're going to remelt everything in there. So we're trying to bring all those dots into play. We're melting it down. And this is going to take a minute because we have to get everything all melted in. All right, we're getting there. It's looking fantastic. Still got a few more minutes of melting in to go. It's getting very close though. They're starting to melt in. Let me bring in the side view one more time so y'all can see what's going on with that. We'll bring in side view. I don't know if the side view will even show a little more if I bring the filter in. There we go. So yeah, that doesn't really help too much. That's not really a big deal there. That didn't do too much. It's already got a didymium filter on it. All right, so we're cranking this up. Sorry about the torch noise. You're going to get a little ASMR sounds going on. Bring it this way. And we're going to let gravity do a tremendous amount. Oh, I forgot about the side view. Damn it. Let me pull off side view. Sorry. There. There we are. This is my happy place. So I'm not feeling any heat right now. I have zero heat reaction. It's not hitting me in one bit this way. Now I'm going to bring it forward. You can see how we melted everything in. There's the dotting before we get it into its spiral form, which we're going to do right now. We're going to change it and spiral it up. Ready? Hang with me, people. Hang with me. I got you. I got you covered. I'm going to grab some iced tea real quick. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's better. And here we go. We're going to attach. And we're going to start melting. And what's going to happen, this rod that I'm tapping will stay pretty much stationary. It's going to move a little bit, but not much. The one on my left hand that I'm tapping here is the one that moves around. And it's going to create a twisty effect. And we get a really cool pattern showing up. Just got to get it hot enough all the way around, then this rod stops again. There we are, and then we're going to pull this off via taper. So we just pull it down and off. We should have a beautiful little spiral. Pull this little nugget off here. There we go. Down and down and down and down. There. All right, we are good. Now you can see all the dots have kind of spiraled around. And that is the effect that we want right there. That's what we're looking for. Then we're going to heat it up and get it round. So now we just have to make it round. Now we just make it round. Uncle Scooby, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for that super chat. Uncle Scooby being so kind. I appreciate you. Even got the sunglass emoji in there. Okay, so we're coming through. Drive through. Oh man, this is getting heavy. Now it's getting heavy. All right, we're melting in right now. This is good. We're at a good point here. So we're going to use the graphite mold, which is right in the front, those little half domes in there, up in the front. And they're made out of graphite or carbon. And what is nice about that material, or graphite, is graphite will not stick to glass. I could insert a glass rod in here, or a carbon rod in here, graphite. And once it cools off, the graphite rod will just literally pull back out. It cannot stick to the glass. So graphite has a hard time, and then tungsten is the other material that has a very difficult time sticking to glass. So graphite and tungsten are the two materials that tools get made out of all the time. All right, we're looking fantastic here. Has that dragon egg look to it right now. It does look kind of like dragon egg-ish. Kind of has that dragon egg effect. Like Game of Thrones. I don't know if anybody remembers Game of Thrones, the dragon eggs, what they look like. Same thing. Although it's not a Game of Thrones. I have to make that very clear. All right, so we bring it in, and we kind of let the weight of the glass create the pressure to round it out from here. Notice I'm just two-fingering this right now. I'm not putting any pressure on it. And the reason you don't want to do that, you can actually scar the glass in there. Do I think I can make Scooby-Doo? No, I can't do Scooby-Doo. I could make a brown dog that looks really cool. Hint. I can make a really cool brown dog, but I cannot make Scooby-Doo. But I can make a brownish dog. What's cooking in the kitchen today? Peanut butter and jelly. L to the B, how are you? Yeah, this is going to be amazing when it cools off. It is definitely a chunky monkey. Yeah, I am like the peanut butter and jelly chef master. Nobody makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich like me. I'll go up against Guy Fieri any day on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He ain't got no shot. He has no chance of beating me on a peanut butter and jelly. All right, here we go. All right, we're almost there. So I'm trying to get rid of this little crease in the side. And so when you want to get rid of certain spots in here, you use a smaller mold. I have the fluff. So Betty Warren sent me some fluff, and that was pretty amazing. I have had the Elvis, yes. I have had an Elvis one. So, fun fact, there is a place around here they have a peanut butter and jelly hamburger. It's a peanut butter and jelly hamburger. I have personally not had the guts to try it yet, because I love my peanut butter and jelly and I like hamburger. I just don't think they mix. The opals are still in this one. Yeah, we got all the opals in this. I just don't know about peanut butter, jelly, and hamburger. Yeah, everybody says it's really good, but I just don't know. That would freak me the hell out. I'm just telling you. We are really looking good on this. Blackberry jelly peanut butter with Cincinnati chili hot dog? Oh, that... Nope. I would not go there. I don't think I would do it. All right, I've got a crease in here. I'm going to show you one of the things that I am looking for right now. And this is the problem on these giant marbles. When the crease is right in the middle, it's just off. And it's a little annoying. But it's got to get out of here. It's got to be blended out. That's still there. So I'm going to show you right here what I'm looking for. So watch the reflection on the top of the marble. It should be a light bar going across. See how it's waving? All right, see right there where it's kind of even? Now watch this. See those curvatures in there? How it almost acts like a little heartbeat pulse section right there? That tells me I've got a crease or a high spot in there. And that's what I'm watching for as I start rotating this. I'm looking for those up and downs right there, the dips. This one definitely shows the dips really, really good. What's the most darling thing I eat? I don't know if anything's darling. I'm a huge fan of what I call poor people food, okay? So poor people food is the stuff that you eat back in the day when you couldn't really afford too much, and you figure out all these weird combos of stuff that you have to mix together because you just don't have a lot of money. And I don't mean to be insulting by saying poor people food. I'm trying to say budget food. So back in the day, I mean, I was on a tight budget for food. So you had to put stuff together. That's where I learned for my absolute love of peanut butter and jelly, because you could just literally get away with peanut butter and jelly for a long time. And yeah, you know, mac and cheese with, you know, various things in there. Yeah, you just learn to develop. However, over time, you get to liking the food that you made back then and you miss it. So I think that, you know, having that experience, there's certain foods that you like. And having no option but to buy it that way, you know, that's kind of the way it is. You know, it was, you know, for a long time, there was a struggle for money. Yeah, and so you just adapt. There's nothing wrong with it. I know. On a budget, you learn to make food, then you learn to make it taste awesome with budget dollars. Although I'm going to be 100% transparent here. I probably shouldn't do it. Okay. I probably shouldn't go there because Taco Bell's probably going to kick my butt now. But if I were back in the day, you might... I got to change this flame. Hold on 1 second. It's too loud. If it was back in the day and you knew me when I was 22 years old, you might have caught me going into Taco Bell ordering one taco with 25 packets of Taco Bell sauce that would eventually be used on my mac and cheese or something. You might have caught me doing that. Ordering one taco and getting 25 packets of Taco Bell sauce. Just saying. But I never went in and took it without buying a taco, at least. I always bought a taco. But that's back in the day. I think a Taco Bell taco was 19 cents for a while. I think they had specials where it was like 19 cents for them. They were super cheap. But anyway, so if you were on a budget, it might be possible that you could walk in there and get a taco with 20 packets of sauce. Just saying. Now Taco Bell's going to come after me. I'm going to get a Taco Bell notice. Everybody does that? I'm sure. Well, what great advertisements. I mean, they can't be mad, right? Sorry, I'm trying to get this crease out of here. It is really being a pain in the butt. But I'm just saying, I might have done that back in the day. I will neither confirm nor deny. Bought them by the tray full. That's right. Kevin's book is still here. What's up, Kevin? Spaghetti out of ramen noodles, smoked sausage, and tomato sauce? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? I think most people have experienced a time in their life when, you had to watch your food budget. I mean, even today, well, that happens today. I mean, food is still expensive today. But anyway, so yeah, you got to watch your budget, and it is what it is. I am still working on this one little crease. It's almost gone, but it's still there. I may actually just have to reverse the punty. I think it's closer to this side now. Glow Up! Thank you for the gifts. Glow Up, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We are making what I call the pink petal marble. So this has crushed opals in it. And we gold fumed it for little flowery like petals. I'll show you what it looks like. I think I got most of it. I think I am going to have to switch the punty one time, but I think I got it. So we're going to bring it over. Actually, I'm going to use the side view. Let's do the side view, see if I can get it to look good. Here we go. Side view. All right, there we are. So this is my new view. And we're going to add in there's the pink petals on there. You can see the opals gleaming through there. And there's the petals. I'm going to hold it upside down here. Get it as close as possible. Oh, there we go. See all the opals flying through there? So that is the marble. Man, that looks good for that view. I'm digging it. No, I'm not tapping that. Not yet. I'm not dropping it. I am not doing that. Okay. I need a little bit of a punty rod here. Okay, you'll work. So we're just gonna, there we go. We're gonna add one more punty here. I think I got it pretty smoothed out. We're gonna figure it out here. But that view was nice, right? That's what I'm saying. That view is gonna work really good for close-ups. So that is called a cold tap, meaning one end was super hot, one end was colder, coldish. Yeah, that was, I think we all did that with food and, the no money fun. Oh, this is going to be a little scary. So this punty is barely on there, the holding rod. I'm a little bit nervous about how little it's on here. If the marble falls, I promise you I'm okay and the marble's okay. But there is a 50-50 chance it's going to fall off this rod. There is a 50-50 chance. Because the weight, and I probably didn't use a big enough punty here. Ooh, that got hot. Oh. This is not a good idea. But I'm not going to take the time to redo it. All right, we should be good. We're going to bring it over. I didn't even get it on there straight, but I can adapt. All right, I got to flip it around. I'm going to do it over the carbon plate, so just in case it falls. It's definitely a little wavy in there. I just have to fire polish this out, and this will be done. Just got to polish it up. Give it a little bit of a polish. Everybody understands when I say polish, right? Because I was saying it the other day, and someone thought I kept saying Polish. I was like, no, polish, not Polish. So it sounds clear, right? Because they thought I was making fun of them. And I was like, no, I'm not saying Polish, I'm saying polish. And there we go. I think we're all good. All right, got a little bit on the side I got to touch up, and we're good to go. And here we go. And I think we're all good. Oh, no, a little bit of fuzzy right there. So what's happening is I'm trying to get out, I'm working out a little bit what I call a fuzzy. There we are. All right, we're all good. This one is completely done. I just have to tap it off, and this one's all done. Here we go. So if you do not have this tool, you got to get a hold of Dragonfly Creation. She makes this tool. It's absolutely 100% freaking awesome. Man, it barely fits in there. And then this is how you remove it from the stick. This is, I think this is about 3 1/4, 3 inches. It's over 3 inches, I can tell you that. And then tap it off. I'm going to say it's about 3 1/4 inches. Bring it over, and then it's probably going to fall out of the holder. There. There. Then I got to let it sit for a second before I tap it into the kiln, or it's going to... There we go. But you can see all the petals running around there, the color. All the opals bouncing through there. It's absolutely one of my absolute favorite designs, color-wise. And we are good to go. Going to toss that in the kiln. Nope, a little bit away. There we go. So that one is done. No, that's not the biggest marble. I made, the biggest marble I've ever done was roughly 4.5 inches. And I will never, ever, ever, ever make one that big again. Ever. That one was way, way too big. It actually burned my chest from the radiating heat. Oh, I have no idea how much oxygen. I use a liquid tank right now, and I go through 1 liquid a week, roughly. So I burn up about a liquid a week. I'm going to show you something that we're going to be working on, though. Here is the skull marble we got. So we're going to be doing this here in a second. I'm going to make a couple of these today. So this is the skull marble. We're going to do a couple versions of these. I'm going to show you with the fuming here. There we are. Look at that. Ah, you know what? Side view. Let's do side view. This shows up really good here. I don't even need the flashlight, I don't think, for it. There. So there is the skull marble. Like that. Kind of cool looking, right? We're going to be making a couple of those. I just finished one in the kiln earlier. We're going to do another one right now. And it's going to look, we're going to do another one right now. So the background that I'm doing on it is the Aurora Borealis version. So we're adding the green. Oh, damn it. How about I go to the normal view? There we go. So we're going to add in the green. Am I doing a marathon? No, just kind of jamming out. This is my day. So there we are. We got the green going. And that is going to be the background of the skull marble we're doing right now. We just finished one earlier. Yeah, if you're one of the mods and you got to go do stuff, I'm cool with it. It's okay. You guys got to go work. Go work. I'm good. Thank you, though. But don't. I'm all good at the moment. All right, we're going to grab the one from earlier, and then I'll show you how we're going to do that. So this one has the amber purple back end. Okay. This. You know what? We're going side view. Hold on. We'll go side view on this. So watch this. Try and get it out of the foot. There we go. Is that beautiful or what? And then we got the skull right in there. So there is the skull right in there. And then the amber purple back view. So we're going to be, I'm going to make that again. But that one we're definitely keeping in the 2-inch section. 2 1/4. I'm not doing monster on that. That's too much. Too much. Yeah, the side view is nice, but I think the camera's working really good. I just got that webcam, and I think it's working really well. My main webcam is the one that you see now. So this is the main webcam, and the side camera is the one that's up here in the corner, up in the top right-hand side. We can actually, I'll show it to you. This is the side cam, like that. The detail on this one's pretty nice. There. And there we go. And let's rock this next one. I think this will be good. So we're going to do the skull marble. Yeah, the skull could definitely be glow in the dark. Well, I can, yes and no. I can back it with glow in the dark, but the skull itself cannot be glow. It doesn't show up for it. I tried it. Have I ever made my own oxygen? Yeah, I have a concentrator right now. I just don't use it. I have it up for sale. I'm selling my my generator, my concentrator. Gonna make some lasagna from beef and tiramisu. Really? That sounds amazing. All right, let's grab a little glass here. Pull this off. There we go. And we're going to make a skull right now. How much for the skull marbles? Could the skull be glow-in-the-dark green? Yeah, let's do it right now. I'll try some uranium in the skull. It'll still be fumed, but we can do a uranium skull in there. I'll try it, Kevin. Let's do it right now. Let's try it. We're going to try it right now. We're going to add a uranium skull. Right now, the marbles are 75. With the uranium, not so much, but yeah. All right, here we go. So we're going to build up a base on here, a little bulk to it. Or what's called a gather. I don't like the word gather. Okay, so we have to keep pushing this. So we're not going to make it too big in the beginning because you don't want to have the thing too monstrous for the initial push of the skull. All right, let's kick on the big flame just for a second. All right, a little bit more. All right, I think I got enough there. We just need to start tapering this rod off here. There we go. So we did this skull yesterday. I'm not so happy with it. So this one, it's okay. I mean, it's not the best looking skull. I would have to trim off the sides to get it really looking good. Okay, so we got to do a couple things with this real quick. I got to make this into a little bit of a round shape, roundish. And then we got to let it cool a tiny bit And then we'll grab the tool and pop it in there. Why is this guy always blowtorching some too? Bubble Mix, I'm not quite sure I get your troll there. Anyway, so we got to let it cool down just for a second. All right, we got the hot spot going. We got to let the whole thing cool off just for a second. A couple seconds, actually. Grab a quick drink. And then while we're doing that, we're going to grab the skull tool, skull diggery. Okay, and give it a second. Got to wait for it to cool. If I don't let it cool, it's going to not work. So we got to let it cool, and then we're going to heat up a certain section of it, just a little bit, not all of it. Okay, now that it's cooled down, well, cool is relative. We're going to heat up a small portion of it, not the whole thing, just a little bit. We're going to bring it in. While I'm doing that, I'll show you what my glasses look like. So this is how I see the world right there. That is what the lens that's in my filter looks just like that. Or the lens that looks in my glasses looks like just like this filter. There's the dyslexia kicking in. So that is how I see the world right there. All right, here we go. So we're going to put the impression in. A little bit more. Okay, and dip that in. And we have a little impression in there. We do a whole combination of glass work. So, doesn't look like much right now. Who makes that tool? I do. That is homemade. All right, so we got to grab some silver and pop it in there. So we're going to fume the inside with silver, and that's what's going to create that. And then we're going to do the uranium in there for Kevin. All right, we got a little silver on here. So this is silver, pure silver. We're going to vaporize it in the flame and just buzz it right in there. But I don't want to get too much in there because I don't want to distort the skull. So I kind of have to buzz the silver in there without destroying the image itself. And there we go. So now we have some color in there. And we're going to burn it all off, except for the inside. And here we go. Now you guys have to remember, I'm old school, okay? I have made a lot of my own tools. There are, my leaf maker, for example, is my own design. I spent hours with a little Dremel tool carving out each and every little groove for the leaf. I have made my own tools for quite a while. All right, one last little check on here. We've got to get it all off here. Okay. So now we're left with the skull having all the silver in it right now. So it's just the skull. We're going to click on the side view so we get a little more detailed here. Click. Okay. So now you can see on the side, the little skull is in there, and that is the silver in there. Okay. Next step, I need to grab some uranium. I don't know where they're... I'm just going to grab some uranium from here. Use a shorty. No, I don't want you. You're going to be perfect. So we're going to use uranium to fill it in, and hopefully we get a iridized uranium glowing skull with a silver fume accent. Pull that little bit off there. So we're going to taper it down a little. Want to use a very specific flame on this. Going to keep it warm. I got to make sure this uranium has no air pockets in it. Okay. Going to heat it up. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're good. That should be good. And oh, nope. All right, success. Now we're just going to melt all that in. Get it all blended up. Yeah, that worked, I think. I think that worked, by George. That's good. Everything's going good. I'm having a fantastic freaking day. I know it looked like a little green lightsaber. Yeah, it kind of does that. All right, we need some black. A little AC/DC drum roll, please. A little back in black drum roll. And let's do it. All right, we're going to add the background on right now and get it going. This is going to be one badass marble. Yeah, we're definitely going to pull out all the stops on this one. We're going to go 100% freaking epic. What's up, Jen? How are you? How long have I been doing this? Roughly about 2 hours now. I'm joking. 32 years this month. It's been 32 years. All right, here we go. We're going to blend everything in. It's going to take a little bit of work to do this. All right, we're going to separate that. I want to blend in the creases here. It's where it gets to be a little complicated. See that crease between the really bright glass and the clear? There's a big gap in there. So I have to kind of blend that before we get too much further. So we just kind of have to chill. My watch is telling me to stand the hell up. Not gonna happen. I don't take orders from a watch. Sorry, I'm in a mood. All right, almost there. We're getting pretty close. So on the back of this marble, what do you guys think? Should we do the Aurora Borealis look to it? I'm so sorry. My voice is going. Hold on. That's really bad. Thank you. There we go. I need a mint. There we go. Okay, that's better. So, do you think we should do the Aurora Borealis on the back? Or should we kind of just play it by ear and do some random colors? The Aurora Borealis is the kind of greenish hue to it. Like that. It's hidden. So we can do some really cool colors, but we can also add in the hidden green in the background to it. I like that style. I think it looks good. But right now, I just have to get this blended in. Then we can go for it. We can create all kinds of fun stuff. There. Damn it. I'm so sorry for doing that online. Okay, we are blended now. We have met the meridian line there. We're good. So now we can do a lot of different stuff with it. We can create all these different things on there. Random. Well, I can tell you this, the skull looks absolutely phenomenal in there. I'm hoping it glows green. It looks really good. So there's the back end. Let's light it up. Actually, we're going to do a whole different look to it. So this one is going to have the white base to it, and then we're going to do green and electrum and maybe some gold fuming. We're gonna change this one up. We're gonna go completely off the rails. Okay, we're gonna change it all up. So we got a little bit of a dark background for the skull itself, but the rest of it we can make really kind of cool. Yeah, well, definitely something's allergy-wise hitting my butt right now. All right, here we go. We're going to add in a lot of white. This is going to look cool. I think this is going to look amazing. It's definitely going to be a different color background than anybody's seen in a while. We're going to add an extension on here. Technically, this isn't the way you do it, but hey. We're all friends, right? Friends don't let friends wigwag. Only the glassblowers will know that one. Okay, yeah, this one's going to look absolutely incredible. I like having the electrum and a white background on it, and then we have the black that is facing the skull, the uranium skull itself. Yeah, this is going to be definitely photograph worthy. Okay, we just got to keep adding it on here. And sorry, this is taking a minute, but I think it's worth it. It's going to be worth the wait. If you want to hang out with me, it's definitely worth the wait. I'm actually at a point where I can kind of take my time and read some questions to you. So if you have questions on here, definitely fire them away in the chat. What's the most difficult thing I've ever made? There are 2 or 3 pieces that come to mind. One of them was a 3D glass sculpture with 5 Labrador retrievers. And the customer had given me a photograph of the 5 Labrador retrievers in a certain pose. And they wanted the labs replicated in those exact poses from the photograph. And they weren't tiny. I had to build bigger sculptures. So trying to get the detail and every little actionable bend or pose was very difficult, especially when you're looking at it from a 2D perspective and you're trying to make it in a 3D perspective. So that one was very challenging in the fact that, like, I'd make the lab and then I would have to let it cool, look at the photograph, come back to it and reheat it and maybe bend the neck of the dog 5 degrees. Jen, have a good one. We're making a big paperweight, well, big-ish paperweight right now that has a uranium glass skull. It's going to have a hidden little background into it with the kind of like a random design in the back. And that's what we're making. But anyway, the 5 labs were a difficult process. That was very challenging. Same customer had me make a chandelier for a pool table. And this was a very, I don't want to say antique, but it was an older pool table from an older generation that a pool player named Fats Domino, I think it was Fats Domino, was the pool player that played on that table all the time, and they bought that pool table. Anyway, it was an older table, but they wanted a chandelier above it, and I made the chandelier where each arm coming off the chandelier was one of the pool balls. And the problem was the pool balls were from that era too. They weren't like modern. So the letters were a little bit, or the numbers, not letters, the numbers were a little bit different and the colors were slightly off as opposed to normal colors for the pool balls. That one was a pretty difficult process. Trying to get the letters into the pool ball centered and looking good was a pain in the butt. All right, we're blending the white right now. And then the other challenging item was my self-portrait. Yeah, the self-portrait was a little bit of a challenge. All right, here we go. I'm just blending this in. And then we're going to add the other colors and really swirl this in. What I'm trying to do is get rid of that middle gap in between there. And I'm sorry, this does take a little bit of time, but it's got to be done right or it's not worth doing. I look like Adam Savage and Keither Sutherland dudes. Yep, thank you. I appreciate that. I always thought I looked like Denzel, but I see the resemblance between Denzel, but hey, I appreciate it. Me and Denzel can be doppelgangers. What's up, Samantha? How you doing, Sam? All right, so we got to blend all this in. I'm doing good. Good to see you, Sam. If you guys have not checked out Samantha there, Samantha Bewitched, you got to check her out. She's funny as heck. She's always got good, fun content. All right, so we're going to blend all this in. And I think we're looking good at the moment. So we're going to add some of your electrum, uranium, and we're going to actually go amber purple on white. I think it's going to look fantastic. Of course, Sam. Yeah, so the chandelier behind me was done when I had a hot shop. A hot shop is a reference to the glass blowing that has the big furnace. I no longer have a hot shop, obviously. It was super expensive to run, and I kind of had to pick a direction. So I chose to do this because I don't need anybody around to be able to do that. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm sending you lots of prayers for good fast healing, Sam. Is the 2 in your right hand solid? Yes, it's all solid right now. Everything's solid. All right, we're going to add the electrum in here. We're just going to buzz it in. We're just spinning this color. I don't care what it looks like because we just need it so that we can spiral it around and create this random pattern in here. So this is going to look very much like liquid metal. Okay, it's going to look liquid metally. Is metally a word? I don't know. Is metally a word? I can't imagine. I think metally is a word. All right, so we got the spirally stuff right there. It is now. I know, right? I guess I just made it a word. I have all these weird words I use all the time. Metally, fuzz nugget, all that stuff. Technically, fuzz nugget isn't a word, but I made it up for glass blowing anyway. It's the little end of a glass rod that's all fuzzy. All right, here we go. We're going to add the uranium on here. Lots of uranium on here. I sure as heck hope that this skull with the uranium turns out, because I am putting a lot of work in this back end. And there we are. Okay, next step. Yeah, fuzz nugget. That is a technical glass blowing term for me. Okay, there's the uranium on there. So the next color we're going to grab is amber purple. Amber purple is one of my favorite colors. And it looks very transparent right now, but when it gets done, it looks absolutely beautiful. It has all these ambers to blues and purples. So we're going to come through and we're going to start blending all this. We're going to use amber purple to blend. So this is what I call finger painting with glass. I don't know of another term to describe this. It really reminds me of finger painting. And I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. Here. So you can see we went from the blended circle-ish color to these random patterns running through there. Mixing it all up. We're going to do that all the way around this piece. And everywhere I do that, it's going to create all these little different patterns and swirls in there. We're going to take a little bit of clear on top of that and mix it in as well. And hopefully, if I did it right, we're going to have the most beautiful combination of swirls and colors you could ever think of in here. Especially with the white background. And then we, of course, got the skull in the uranium, if it works out. I think it should. I hope the skull works out, because this is going to be a lot of work if it didn't look good. I probably should have checked that before I ever did all this on here. At least this part of the marble will look good. Now, I like marbles for a couple different reasons. One, they were one of my favorite things as I was growing up as a kid. My entire neighborhood played marbles in the street. You had the little curbs, and you used the marbles to shoot marbles in the curbs. And we made up a hell of a lot of rules on our own. But it brings back good childhood memories. But number two is the fact that you can take these marbles and display them on a desk. Whether you work in an office or at home or somewhere like that, and you can just have it sitting there displaying like this right here on a little stand. And if you work in an environment where you have to look like you're working all the time because your keyboard's going, like you're typing, you can take this really cool marble, pop it on your keyboard on a few keys, and it acts like a keyboard buddy and keeps it typing for a little while. Not that I endorse such a thing, but hey. All right, so last little bit is the clear on here. We're going to mix it all in. And everywhere I put this clear, it's going to add into another layer. It's going to 3D that amber purple. So I don't want to completely encase this whole thing. I just want it in spots. And here we go. We're looking fantastic. We're going to get it. I still can't believe I said that. So if you have not seen what I'm talking about, on my YouTube channel, there is a little short of me saying, let's get it. I have no idea why I said that way. None whatsoever. But I did. And I posted it as a short. And it's done pretty good. But I never say that way. At least I don't think so. Okay, we got all that color on there. We're going to give it one little swirl at the end here. All right, we're going to start making this into a full-blown marble now. We've done the complicated part. We've gotten through the complicated part. And we now have this. This is what's on the inside of this marble I'm currently working. That skull diggery looking thing right there. Now, there are a lot of people that attempt to do that, but I think I do that. It's one of the things where I will kind of say, I think I'm one of the best at it. And I'm not trying to be cocky saying that. I just really think I am. I think it looks fantastic. I'm going to try and... saw one little spot here. Hold on. There we are. I had one little spot there that was kind of funky. All right, let's go. We're going to make this thing into a beautiful marble. We're going marblicious. This is going to be hot. Ooh, that's hot. That was a hot potato. All right, here we go. So we're going to use a filter on here. I'm going to show you how I see things through my world. We're going to bring in this filter. So this filter is very similar to my glasses. Except on my glasses, I have a welder's shade number 3 also laminated to this material. We're going to bring it in, and you can see the difference here of my world versus what the public sees like that. Now, a lot of people say, why don't you leave the filter on there all the time? And I'm going to show you why. But right now, I just kind of want to give you that experience of what I see. Like that. So why do I not leave the filter on there all the time? Because it cuts out a lot of colors and a lot of things. So like I'm going to drop it in front of these marbles and they're no longer fun. See? And same with this. See, it just filtered out all that coolness right there. So that's why I don't leave the filter on all the time. It just cuts out all that fun. Do you still come live every day? Yeah, I do. Christy, I do. Well, I had a little temporary ban on TikTok. They got really angry at me. So some fuzz nugget turned me in for dangerous activities. Yeah, there's my fuzz nugget term. So anyway, someone turned me in for quote unquote dangerous activities, and I had to fight it for a little bit. And then once they saw that I wasn't dangerous, they obviously released it. But that's why I hadn't been on for a while. Had a few haters. And that's okay. All right, here we go. Doesn't bother me a bit. Funny part is now that they did that falsely, they're getting watched by TikTok. So I hope they're prepared for it. Okay, we got to bring it in and start rounding this out. Thank you, Alex. All right, so now we've got some cool colors bouncing through it. Now you're just going to see red. Okay, that's the bad part right now. You're just going to see red, reddish orange. But the colors that are going to bounce through this thing are absolutely outstanding. Everywhere you see a little tiny swirly looking like tide pool in there, it's going to be a different color. And then we got the uranium backing on it, which is going to look very much like this under black light. See those little green swirls? I call it the Aurora Borealis effect. So we got that going on. Now we're going to do the front end. We got to make it a little bit bigger. Did that kind of meld in there? What's up, little flower? Okay, here we go. We got to meld this in just a little bit. I think there's a little spot right there. Yeah, that worked out. And this skull is looking absolutely amazing. Do I have any pictures of the marble I made last night? Nope, it's right there. No pictures of it, just the marble itself. All right, got a little attachment rod here. Let's make the rest of this marble look amazing. So inside this marble is a 3D image of a skull that is ghostly looking. And the backing of it is uranium. So technically, when I shine a black light on it, the skull itself should look greenish, ghostly green. But I have not done it that way before, so I'm not 1,000% positive how it's going to be. And here we go. Yeah, that skull looks awesome. I can't wait to show you guys. I cannot wait to show you. It's going to look amazing. Right about there. Okay, we're going to separate. All right, got that done. We are almost there. Almost done. So now we're just melting everything in together. Uncle Scooby! Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe, depending on which channel you're on. If you are on TikTok, it would be the follow button. If you are on YouTube, the subscribe. It really means a lot to me to be able to do that. If I've earned a subscription or a follow, I would appreciate it. And again, I always feel like I have to earn it. It's not just a given. Also helps if you hit the little like button. That actually helps a tremendous amount. It sends a signal to both YouTube and TikTok, depending on the channel, that the live stream is interesting. And that helps me a lot. So if you have not done so, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor and doing that, again, on follow or subscription, it's only if you feel like I earned it. Not mandatory. All right, here we go. We are rocking this thing. I'm so excited to show it all to you. Oh my gosh. Oh, heck yeah. I'm sorry, that's over exaggerated. I probably over dramatized it, but it looks really good. When I get excited, it's awesome. And there are very few pieces I get excited about, but this one looks really good. It's been a while since I've done these skulls, and I was really nervous that I wasn't going to make it very nice. Without a lot of practice, but it's like riding a bike. I guess I got it back down. We're going to come over here and start getting that rounded out. All right, let me get this a little bit polished out, and I'll show you from the side view. I got a middle crease in there I want to get rid of, but for the most part, this looks good. I'm not disappointed by it in any way, shape, or form. We're going to go to the side camera real quick. So we're going to bring on the side view, and here we go. Maybe. Oh, there's side view. We're going to bring it up here. You can see the skull sitting right in there. Now you can see that. Oh my gosh. I told you it looked good. That's what I'm saying. That little skull diggery looks fantastic. Let's bring in a little light, shine a little light on it. There we are. That's a little bright on there. And there we go. Bring it way back. There we are. So when it cools off, it's definitely going to have that blue hue to it. It's very bright right now. And then from the side, you can definitely see it 3D'd. Yeah, this looks good. And the beauty is, it definitely has uranium in it, in the back end. All right, we're going to pop a punty on here and try and get it rounded out to the back. Yeah, I can definitely tell that greenish hue to it. I think I got it just on the skull. But it might be throwing the bluish skull version off a little, and that's okay. So I just have to bring this down a little. This is 32 years this month. It's been a minute. Ooh. Bollocks. All right, it got a little bit screwy there. All right, it's going to get a nice twist at the end. Got a little wild there. Well, we got a nice little spiral. That's a happy little accident. Oh, forgot about the side view. Crap. There we go. Forgot about the side view. Raul, nobody's going to believe you unless you send me a galaxy. Nobody's going to believe you do that. Actually, a universe would probably make people believe that. Nobody's going to believe you. Not without a universe. That'll make you put your money where your mouth is, right? There we go. All right, so we're going to melt all this in and kind of get it to blend. And I think we're going to have it looking really good. We got a little bit of a crease right in the middle, but I think we can get rid of that. Pretty quick here. A little bit heat right there. Bring it up. And we just have to get it rounded out. I'm pretty happy with this marble. So I try to answer as many questions as I can on here. Right now I'm doing pretty good with being able to track questions. Can I show the marble? Yep. That I did last night? Yes. It's a little difficult to see all the detail in there, but it looks pretty awesome. I definitely have to get some photographs of it, because the camera's not going to pick it up as well as like a photograph. Does Mom watch occasionally? Yeah, sometimes she's on here. All right, just got to get rid of this crease. There's just a big line running all the way around this marble. And while it technically it won't hurt the marble, I just don't want it there. All right, here we go. We're going to bring it in, and oh, we're looking good now. Crease is almost gone. Give it a little spin here, spin check. It's bouncing in there really good. Last little bit, and I think we're good. I always tell people these are not meant to be like marbles that you play with, technically. These are just kind of display marbles. So sometimes you have a little bit of wobble here or something. It's better to not disturb the entire marble to try and take out a tiny little wobble. You know. like I'm doing right now. All right, we're good. One last punty on the other side, and then we'll knock this off of the tool and the rod, and it's all done. I think we're there. We're there. We're good to go. Yeah, we're good. I think what's throwing me off too is the contrast between the white, the dark, the white, and everything. So right in the middle there, we got the black, the white, and the other colors bouncing through there. I think there's something drawing a little bit of a wavy effect that is throwing me off just a tiny bit. That would be Fritz. That would be the Fritzster. I'm going to bring this out. Get rid of that. The color contrast is really nice, though. Okay, we're going to attach it right here. I'm pretty excited to see the back end of this, too. I think it's just as cool as the front, to be honest. Okay, we pulled that little bit off right there. There. All right, let's go. Last bit. I won't have to reverse it anymore. It should be done. The skull kind of has a little silver halo around it too. All the way around it, like a portrait. I wish you could kind of see it, but you won't be able to right now. It's definitely not visible without the flame. Okay, we're going to pull that little bit off right there. But yeah, it has, so you got the skull, and then around it is like a little portrait halo. Yeah, we're good. Last little bit, and we'll polish it off, and all done. And here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Round that off. Round and round she goes. And we're good. We're all done. Now we just knock it off the glass rod, and this one's completed. This is good to go. I really appreciate everybody hanging with me on this if you have stuck it out. And I don't know if Kevin's still here, but I hope, thank him for kind of pushing me on the direction of doing the uranium on it. Oh, let's do side view on this. It's going to show a little bit better. Oh, there's Kevin. Yeah, I'll say thank you for pushing me on the doing the uranium version. There it is. Tell me that see that little halo around it? There's a thin little halo all the way around that skull. It just looks wicked cool when the flame's on it. I'm going to try and bring it back out. Is it claimed? Kevin, I was making this on your suggestion. No, it is not claimed unless you don't want it. And then it's not claimed. All right, there we go. Oh, there we go. Look at that right there. See that image? 3D effect. That's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, crap. Holy crap. Almost knocked it off. All right, Kevin, you got it. Then we just take it like this, and this is how you get it off. Tap. And you spin it off. Now we're going to let this amber purple soak in the kiln for a little while and develop some beautiful colors to it. And then there's the back end. I'm going to try and show the amber purples. Now this is going to get way more intense over time. So those caramel colors, all those colors, you're going to see a lot of blues and everything electrifying in there. Then there's the skull. It's really hard for me to try and hold it with this tool right now. But yeah, that is beautiful. It's absolutely outstanding. And I'm hoping the uranium pops on the skull. No, don't you roll that way. Don't do it. Damn it, stop. There we go. It wanted to go a certain way, as being a pirate going a certain way. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's definitely pirate themed. Let me get rid of this. Damn it, I got the side view on. There we go. All right, now we're back to normal view. Anyway, it's been 2.5 hours of that stream. So let me take a break for a little bit. We will be on at 5:30, 2 hours from now, Pacific Standard Time is our normal Friday night fun. So between now and then, I'm going to sign off and go take a little rest before our 5:30 stream tonight. I appreciate everybody hanging with me. So if you would like to join me tonight, it is 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. We are going to make some fun stuff tonight. We're definitely going to be jamming on some incredible different versions of things. And you never know. We may change it up on the fly, be a little spontaneous. So, yeah, we'll see you all just in a little while. Try and get some